Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, and welcome to the Amateur Otaku Podcast. How is everybody doing out there? I am Brandon Alvarado, the Scarlet Fan here, and I'm really excited to be here in the webs talking anime with you guys. We're back with our coverage of the Promised Neverland Season 2. And as usual, I am accompanied by the one, the only, the mad runaway Isaac Wolf. What's up, man?
I mean, we promised to cover the series, so we keep our promise and never let it on land.
Stop. You actually stumbled upon the second stumble when you stumbled on a rock and you never landed. Damn it, Isaac! Why do you have to start with puns? You gotta stop. Now I'm doing the same thing.
Why not?
I mean, I know it's your thing, but trust me, that as soon as you started, it was a little bit of a train wreck. Just a little bit, a tad, a small amount.
Or was it?
Don't make me question my insanity, okay? That's not what we're here to do. That's what you're here to do. You're here to question and challenge my sanity. I'm here to go in rabbit holes. And more than anything, I'm here to try to not get eaten. But then again, hey guys, welcome to our coverage of the Promised Neverland. Isaac, I'm excited. We're back. We have the ongoing series on Attack on Titan every 2 weeks. And in the middle of those 2 weeks, we cover Promised Neverland. I'm really happy that we're able to do these videos every 2 weeks and produce more content. I think we've always wanted to do what we're doing, where we do at least 2 episodes or more a week of different kinds of coverage to help the community grow and people see what we're doing. And if you like what we're doing here at the Amateur Otaku Podcast, if you're watching on our YouTube channel, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and click on the bell for notifications so your friends, so you can receive every single video, so you don't miss any stream, so you don't miss any reviews, you don't receive any coverage on our YouTube channel, which we post weekly content of awesome anime that we cover and reviews that we do on different shows. If you like to listen to the podcast version of the pod, go to Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Radio Public, Stitcher. The Amateur Otaku Podcast is available everywhere. I am going to say, though, the review series that we're doing, which are for the Attack on Titan show and the Promised Neverland, are YouTube exclusive content. So you will only find it on YouTube, and will only find it when we stream it. Whenever the seasons wrap up, we will do a wrap-up episode for the podcast exclusively, because we're trying to build this YouTube audience that we have, which now we have 22 subscribers, Isaac, which is growing slowly, but it's growing. People are finding out who we are. So make sure to share to your friends and share the good word that the Amateur Otaku is here to review and talk awesome anime and build a community with you guys. But yeah, Isaac, are you excited? I say we jump right in and talk about these last 2 episodes. You good?
I mean, the pun has to land sometime, or I will have to break my promise.
Oh my god, my head hurts right now. Every time you push the pun through the point of no return, my head hurts. I mean, you know what? You should go back to your food puns. You should go back to all your food puns about cheese on pizza and like ice cream and strawberries. Like, you should go back to that right now, because I don't know what's going on. Yes, but yes, let's talk about this. So let's go right to the chase. Let's talk Promised Neverland. On the last episode, on the last entry of the series, we covered episode 1 and 2 of season 2, where we found the kids running away from a monster in the forest, and they run into these 2 demons, Sojin and Mujika, where they learn the basics of surviving in the wilderness, and where to find food, and kind of get a good grasp of how the world operates outside of the farm that they used to live in. And these 2 episodes literally pick up from there And the first thing we see is that they leave the caves and they leave Sojun and Mujika, and now they're in the wasteland and they're trying to find this base or this location where they are hoping to find William Minerva, which is this random gentleman that has kind of been like their quote unquote guardian angel for the longest time. So let's talk about things that stood out to us from this episode. And I want to start with one thing. The conversation that Sojun and Mujika have as soon as the kids leave, that put chills down my spine. Do you know what conversation I'm talking about?
Oh, I do.
And it's one of those things that kind of shows you how many layers this show has, and at the end of the day, you kind of understand the dynamic. And so the conversation I'm talking about, and I'm kind of hinting, I don't know why I'm trying not to spoiler. This is a spoiler review, of course. We're expecting that everybody that sees this episode is because they've seen episodes 3 and 4. So Sojun and Mujika talk about the kids and the time that were there and the time they were smart. In a conversation that started as them talking about the fondness that they built for the kids while they were staying with them, Sojun then Sojun's real intentions come to light when he goes like, and they were smart too. And then he starts talking about the kids, that their kids being high grade product, and how the only reason he really helped them was because if he helps them, they can grow in number naturally. And if they grow in number naturally, that means that he can hunt them. Because if they're one with nature and not manufactured, it's fair game for hunting, and then he can eat them. And that was like, wow. What a crazy moment. What a crazy argument. When you first read this, because I know you've read the manga, I know that similar to how we both are with Attack on Titan, at least you are ahead on Promised Neverland. So the first time you heard this conversation about Sojun only wanting to help the kids establish the human population outside the farm for the simple end that he can hunt them and eat them. When you first read that, what was your reaction?
I was just, what? What?
Yep. What a curveball, if there was any. And what I like about that curveball, the idea that Sojun really wants to eat them anyway, but he is a man of faith, so that he won't eat them because they're product right now. They're not actual live prey that he can hunt, because because he can't hunt them, he can't live by those, but by his principles. So you can see kind of like, it's kind of weird how he's talking about the whole thing in a very faith like he's keeping to his convictions. You know what I mean? Like he knows he's doing the right thing. He's convinced that he's doing the things the way he should do based on his beliefs and his religions. But one of the things that I think becomes what this argument brings forth, which to me is fascinating, is the fact that at the end of the day, what this show has been about from day one is a show about survival. That's what this show is about. And to the most minimalistic idea of survival is the idea of being able to eat, the idea to be able to receive sustenance. And what's in the center of this is the fact that demons have killed humans for sustenance forever. because that is the type of food that they eat. So it's kind of like a food chain thing. So it's not even like an evil thing. You know what I mean? It's more like a primal survival thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Which kind of like illustrates and informs the argument in a different light, because now we're no longer seeing the demons only as monsters, and that's what makes his argument so powerful, because from the minute we hear demons, we're thinking about monsters, they want to eat them, blah blah blah, and then we meet Sojin and Mujika, right, which are completely different. But then you find out that there's a there's a that there's also that there's no ulterior motive. There's just a reality to his nature, which is why he wants to eat humans. But he will not do it in a way that goes against his beliefs. And I don't know, that was just super interesting. So it's like it makes you think, like, as soon as, maybe let's say that Emma and Ray got together, as soon as they have a kid, he sees their kid as someone he can hunt, which is like, that is so dark. Like the last couple of episodes, you kind of forget to a degree how dark the show can be, and then this conversation happens, and pitch black. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think these are the kind of things that I like about the episode, that it keeps you on edge. It keeps you on edge, and it also is one of those shows, especially throughout these two episodes, you see it a lot. These are the kind of show. This is the kind of show similar to Walking Dead and similar to Attack on Titan, where when you get to a point that everything feels okay, that's when you need to feel nervous. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, do you think? Well, I can't really ask you this question, but apart from Sojin's comments about wanting to eat the kids once they procreate and fill nature, right? I also did like the fact, though, that Mujika kind of doesn't like hearing this from Sojin.
Yeah.
Like Mujika doesn't necessarily agree with him, which makes me think one thing, which I don't know what's explored, and you cannot spoil, so I'm sorry I'm making this difficult for you. But it makes me think about the idea that Sojin, because he's much older, he knows how human beings taste. I wonder if Mujika doesn't, and that's why there's this disconnect, and she's able to bond with him in a different way. Similar to the whole thing, which we see in shows all the time. What was the last show that I saw? Oh, Demon Slayer. Duh. The idea that Netsuko doesn't eat humans, and there's a reason why she's retained some of her humanity, and it's because she's never eaten humans. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's always this idea of how when your body receives a certain nutrient, or whenever you eat something or experience or have a certain kind of experience for the first time, like your physiology, your the way your brain, like your chemistry, everything reacts differently. So it doesn't just become a thought, an idea, it becomes like a physiological impulse. I wonder if those things are going to be explored and spoken about throughout the show, because I'm pretty confident. I hate it when you laugh like that, because I know you're laughing because you know, but you're not gonna say because you love us. But it makes me think, like, if they do this exploration and they continue to build this world, because now I want to see more of the demon world, which I like the fact that on these two episodes we saw more of that, which I hope that we see a lot more as the show develops. But yeah, love the conversation, love the depth of darkness that's being introduced through these characters that felt like caregivers and whatever. And I think more than anything is the idea that kids kind of always get tricked by those that they trust, and those that they trust are always the adults. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's like for the longest time they were tricked by mama, and now, even though they don't know yet, they're kind of also being tricked by Sojin, which is kind of like these kids are really on their own. But also, I love the fact that continuing as the show continues, we continue to see their resilience. And Isaac, talk to me. Talk to me about what we found out on episode 3. What did they find? What did they find in the Wasteland?
They found that supposed secret base that they have talked about.
A secret base. Now, talk to me. What was your? So you found the base. What was your thought about it?
How should I put that? Because I will go into manga spoiler territory if I go talk about that thing.
No, not if you talk about what happened in the episodes. What were your thoughts? What were your thoughts when you saw it, or like when you read the manga when you saw that they found this warehouse or they found this place? What were your thoughts?
It was that on the first thing you would say, oh, now they have something, a shelter that he can live in peace for at least some while. Then to remember, but then I read the manga and oh, right. So I know that it wouldn't be as good for them as it might look. If you know what I mean.
Well, the good thing is that that I like the fact that the anime didn't linger too long on them being here because they arrive at the warehouse.
Linger too long is an understatement.
Yeah, they were only there for an episode. Yeah. Taking in consideration that they arrive in episode 3 and in episode 4 they're already leaving the place. I like the fact that they had this moment of rest, this moment of calm, where they were able to kind of like go back to living a regular life. I mean, they were there for, I think, according to the calendar that I think one of the girls, they were there for like what, 5 days? It wasn't even, or maybe a couple of weeks, maybe.
Sort of.
Yeah. So it was pretty cool seeing the kid play piano, which I didn't remember he played piano. Because I don't think he ever played piano on the first season. I actually don't remember that kid from season 1, but that's a different story. But I like the fact that they got to this place that was supposed to be the safe haven for kids that got to escape. So it kind of makes me think that they weren't the first ones to escape. I like the idea that because of everything they've learned in books. The idea of books being something that has prepared them for life. I don't know why, but I keep seeing this show and I keep thinking about how the whole
maybe school is good after all.
Not even school. Like this anime is telling us reading is good. You know what I mean? Like reading is good. You should read. Like it's telling you like it's a giant infomercial for reading. But how do these kids are 8 years old? They're doing this? Oh, because they read a book. You know what I mean? Like because everything they did was pretty much reading books, and even though some of the older ones did chores and stuff like that, it's all about books, you know. But yeah, books. #books. But I like the fact that they were able to like everything was there. But even from the beginning, the fact that they found everything they needed to survive, the fact that they found that, it's like a very particular storytelling device. Like the fact that they found everything means that it's too good. You know what I mean? Like it's too good to be true. Like you can't just find everything you need. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I like that they played out on this very quickly. They spent enough time for you to see them have fun little moments to fill up the episodes, to try out weird fish, to showcase the troublemakers of the group. Which, by the way, I'm actually having a lot of fun with those two kids that are becoming like the troublemakers of the group. I think it's Donnie. It's Dom, Donnie, and Lamont or something like that. I think is the name of them. The three little small pisquis, and we get a revelation, and we finally hear the voice of the famous Minerva. So they arrive to this base, they settle down, and as they're exploring the different rooms of the base, there's two revelations. And the first one is that they find a payphone that rings and holds a recording from William Minerva. And it kind of gives us our first glimpse of who this guy is or was, because the idea that this is a recording means that we don't know how old it is, which I think it's a big plot point for me because it makes us even think, is this guy even alive? Which, everybody's seen a lot of stories. Huh?
I'm just sitting here. I've read the manga. I can't answer this.
I know you can't. Shut up, Isaac. But what I think was so interesting was the fact that what makes the character of William Minerva or James, whatever his name was, I don't remember, because I know he said like his real name. What makes this character so interesting is not the fact that he's helping the kids. It's not the fact that he's helping all the kids because he's sending books with codes all over all the farms. Is the fact that he used to work for the demons. So this makes me think that he was once someone for the farms. So he doesn't even live in the human world. So it makes me think, did he really ever escape at all? So
No
I know,
comment.
no, that's fine. But guys, I know I'm talking a lot by myself in this episode, but if you hear Isaac laughing, I'm doing this to torture him because I know he holds all the cards and knows all the answers, and he cannot give any of them. And I'm just putting this out there to see your reactions in the comments and to see how he reacts. So yes, I am having a hell of a time. But yeah, it makes you think like, is this a guy that is still trapped in the demon world and he's just trying to save people because he can't go to the human world? Because he doesn't say that he's there. He says that he's still a fugitive, or at least that's what we get from this. So we now get a new destination. So we quote unquote now know how to go to the human world, which we didn't know before. So now they have a new target, a new place they need to go to. Part of them wants to, and then we've also found this room, which is so scary. A room with names and like someone was tortured in there, and it appears that it was a kid that was tortured in there, or a person, or a man. That was kind of crazy. I do find it kind of weird that they never discussed this. Like, you do find that some kids found the room, but you never see Emma and Ray addressing that room. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
normally when there's a revelation or there's a conversation about something important, Emma and Ray are the ones that address it. So that didn't happen. I don't know why. They're probably prepping for something in the future. I do not know. Um, but also, the biggest twist for me. Go
I
ahead.
can. I can. Yeah. Go on. Go on.
No, go.
Go on. Go on.
You're biting your tongue again, aren't you?
Kinda.
Okay. So you know what, Isaac? You know what I'm gonna do? Just for you. Just for you. I'm gonna start reading the manga so we can discuss it. So that you can feel that your soul has a release. Because I have a feeling that these reviews are killing you right now.
Kind of.
But the biggest twist for me on the episode was the fact that Mama is being recruited by the demons to hunt down and capture the kids.
Which is an anime only, doesn't happen in a manga.
Really?
Yep.
Interesting. So let me ask you this. Unless it's a spoiler from the manga, let me ask you this. Is she dead in the manga by this point?
I can't recall, actually.
Okay. Is she after they escape? Is she a prominent character in the manga?
Not that I remember.
So they're changing things. I wonder why. Interesting.
Let me just check. Yeah, she's. I just checked her status on my books, and I won't say what, but yes, for another thing they did.
So let's go to that. Yeah, talk about it. So what? So she's gonna hunt down. Let me give me 1 second. Let me prepare the scene for everybody. So one of the biggest twists is that Mama is now going to hunt down the kids to get back in good graces with the demons, and then Isak is now telling us that in that manga this doesn't happen. Go, Isak.
Yep, it doesn't happen, and I'm just okay. I just checked and I couldn't find anything about that part. I double checked.
Interesting. I think it has to do with I think that a lot of people love that character from season 1. I think a lot of people enjoyed that character.
I can also tell you this.
Go ahead.
They have skipped over. I can also tell you this. They have skipped 50 chapters of the manga.
Excuse me?
Yep. About 50 chapters, so to speak.
They have skipped? You mean from the moment they escape to that big creature chasing them? There's a space of 50 chapters that they skipped?
Sort of. And if based on how they approached this arc with their caretakers, many suspect, myself included, if they are going to skip out on what is arguably the most popular arc in the entire manga.
Which is the end or the middle?
Which is gonna come around, which is sort of afterwards, if I'm not missing. Which shall come after the Search for Minerva arc.
Interesting.
And based on how they handled the previous ones, it makes me wonder if they are going to cut that part, and which is pretty disappointing.
I mean, I don't think they'll cut the most famous arc. That would be kind of weird. But interesting. So we're getting into this is the second anime now that we're looking at that is diverging from the source material.
Honestly, this from an, how should I put it? It is not the first four. I wouldn't say that. If I was a anime only guy, I thought this was a great approach and all that. Yes, but as a fan of the manga, with the tempo that they are going with this season, I wouldn't be surprised they are covering the entire manga this season with the breakneck pace they are doing.
Well, that's
This
the
is a
thing, though.
series this is a series that could easily be about 3 to 4 seasons, maybe 5. Do it properly.
And they're probably reducing it to like 3 seasons.
Hopefully, at least. I know that mangaka is involved with that, which, for better and worse, considering the ending of the manga, which is quite controversial.
Interesting. Yeah, this is all kind of crazy.
Which is why I'm just how should I put this one? I'm not gonna say that I'm not gonna say that the anime season 2 is bad so far, because I really enjoy the episode, and I think it's fit from an adaptation standpoint. The thing that worries me is the tempo right now.
Now, do you think that, I mean, the episodes have had good pacing, but are you saying in the sense that they've skipped so much? Is what you mean?
I mean, they skipped 50 chapters.
No, but that's what I mean. Like, so you're not talking about the pace on the storytelling or the direction. You're talking about the fact that they've skipped so much.
Yeah.
Okay, because for example, I think we can both agree that pacing is not a problem. Like, they've paced the episodes very well. The storytelling is pretty intact. They've just skipped so much material. Like, so what you're saying is that there's 50 chapters in between them escaping and them meeting Sojin and Mujika. Is that what it is?
I can't mention exactly what they're skipping because that would be spoilers, and maybe they're covering it later.
No. But what I mean is like, but I'm not telling you what to. I'm talking in regards to that meeting. Like, that meeting is
Yeah.
supposed to happen a lot further along as opposed to right
Yeah.
now. Okay. I mean, the other thing is they could be pulling an Attack on Titan, which is like, you know how sometimes they take some stories and they fit them in between as opposed to telling them later. You know what I mean?
I hope so.
I mean, they could be doing that. So, but yeah, that's kind of crazy. I would have never imagined. And that's for me, that I'm just an anime guy. So I've only watched the anime. I'm really glad that I did not feel that distinction or that fact that I felt that they were skipping stuff. If you wouldn't have
Just for,
mentioned it, I wouldn't have noticed it. Which I
just for
think is a good.
just for the record, I only lack a couple of volumes, but right now, because Science Fiction Wakanda doesn't have everything so far. But to prove my point to our viewers, that I send you that on Twitter. And this is
What you send on Twitter?
so it's not see, it's not like I don't know what I'm talking about.
Oh, that's funny. Let me. I'm gonna share that.
I don't have everything yet because, like I said, Science Fiction Wakanda doesn't have everything.
See, ladies and gentlemen, Isaac knows what he's talking about. He's reading the manga. Look, he owns almost everything. So if someone skips something, if anybody knows, Isaac knows. But yeah, that's kind of crazy. That is kind of crazy. I would never have imagined that they were skipping so much stuff. But I mean, it's one of those things. Like, if they focus on good storytelling, even if they're trying new things, I still go back to the Full Metal idea. Like I said it too many times here, but I think it's one of those things that's rare, but it has happened before. And it's the fact that if Full Metal Alchemist was able to give us two great, excellent, but very different series on the same source material to a degree, I don't see why Promised Neverland couldn't do it. And I think it's very possible that what they're doing, being that the creator is involved, are different plans that he chose not to do, and he just wants to try new things. You know, it could be that too. And who
I
knows?
can tell you right now that if they skip out the two main and favorite characters, I think the fan base, myself included, will be quite disappointed.
No, I do not. I will not blame you. All I know is, and this is going to sound a lot dirtier than it's supposed to be, I like Mama. Give me more Mama.
Because if you read the manga, you would know exactly who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm actually excited to see more Mama. Did I say that already? I'm going to say it again. More
Mama.
More Mama. I mean, I think she's such a cool and very complex character. I know that fans of the anime like her a lot, which I wouldn't be surprised if that's part of the reason. Huh?
Which is probably why they
Correct.
why they added more of her.
Right. And not only that, is the idea of her being the one in charge of the hunt for the kids. That gives it a brand new twist that I think it's going to be interesting, because it's going to mean that they're going to see her again. And more importantly, is the fact that they're going to keep exploring the idea of Mama being Ray's mother. And to me, that's an interesting plot point. So yeah, that's more Mama. I do find it kind of crazy how the episode 4 ended, though, because apart from all the conversations that were had and all the revelations, stuff like that, episode 4 ended the same way episode 1 begins, with them running from the same monster. But this time they're running away from the monster, and the whole screen is black, which to me is interesting. I don't know if we're going to get a different kind of episode next week, but I want to see where they go from there. The kids are still running for their lives, and I like the fact that we're back to that dynamic. Like even though it kind of feels like some people might say that it's getting old, I like the fact that the kids are always on their toes and trying to find out what the next step is. And I want to see more of them. I like spending time with these kids. It's fun.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add? You did like the episodes overall. Now, let me ask you this. They are
from an adaptation point, I was okay. I'm interested to see where this is going. But if I look from an anime only standpoint, I can see where they are going with it, and I can see. You get what I mean? I'm trying to look at it from two different specific.
Like, so in your case, because you know the manga, you're apprehensive. You're like cautiously optimistic. But from an anime viewer, like if you only knew the anime, you like what you're seeing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, do you want more Mama?
That depends on how they approached it.
So I want more Mama, but the thing is that here's the thing: we always see her like this calm, collected person, right? And it's not like towards the end of the season 1 that you kind of see her being this like badass character in terms of action and ability and whatever. And I just want to see more of that for some reason. I mean, apart from the fact that she can probably kill all those kids by just looking at them. But I want to, for some reason, I have a feeling that there's going to be a moment where she's going to be killing demons. And then the show is going to stop being Promised Neverland and it's going to be Underworld via Mama. And I don't know. I think that's going to be awesome. I don't know. More Mama. But yeah, I guess we'll find out where the show goes now. I think that's it. I'm ready to head out. Are you ready, Isaac?
Yeah.
So thank you guys for joining us on our coverage and our thoughts of episodes 3 and 4 of The Promised Neverland Season 2 here at the Amateur Otaku Podcast, where we talk anime with you guys and discuss it with people that love anime and also discuss it with people that have never seen anime before and don't know if they should jump in. If you love what we're doing here, make sure to subscribe, click on that like button, and click on the bells for notifications so you don't miss any video and you don't miss any streams. As you know, our review series is an exclusive YouTube series, so make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the episodes. We will be back in 2 weeks with episodes 5 and 6 of The Promised Neverland, covering the series. Next week, we will be back with Attack on Titan, where we'll be talking more about the final season of this awesome show by Hajime Isayama. We normally do 2 episodes a week of the Amateur Otaku Podcast. We normally do Mondays and Tuesdays. Monday, I had to take a day off, but today, Tuesday, we are actually going to do 2 episodes for you guys. So right now, we're wrapping up our coverage of Promised Neverland, but we will be back tonight to our usual episodes for Tuesdays at 7:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we will be covering the mystery thriller Erased. I really enjoyed this show a lot, and we can't wait to cover this for you guys. It's available on Netflix, and we're going to be covering it on the show. So we will see you back tonight at 7:45 Eastern Standard Time tonight as we cover Erased on the show. Isaac, you do a lot of things for different people in different places, in different spaces. So Isaac, where can they find you in the webs?
You can find me over at Twitter on Imblemaniac, and you can find our Instagram at the Amateur. Is it the Amateur Otaku? I always forget that part. I'm just so bad with the Instagram. Wait just a second. Yes, the Amateur Otaku. Where I'm trying to keep as updated as possible.
Nice.
And we also have, you can also find my work over at Wolbem Entertainment.
Nice. And you can find me at the Scarlet Fan 52 on Twitter, at the Scarlet Fan 52 on Instagram, and as Brandon Alvarado at Facebook, where I share music and work on the Amateur Otaku Pod. I will be starting to write a lot more reviews and stuff soon for Woman Entertainment, because Woman Entertainment is under new management. Woo woo! Shout out to our new editor-in-chief, the good man, Landon Bell. The Amateur Otaku is happy to work with Woman Entertainment. We're good friends with the creators over there. And it's probably going to be, and we're working on making Wobam another platform where you can go find the archive of Amateur Otaku goodness. So we'll keep you updated on those things that we are working on. And hashtag Wabamba Rock. So thank you guys for joining us at the Amateur Otaku Podcast. Stay safe. Have a great one. And we will see you tonight when we cover Erased. Have it awesome, guys. Peace.
Yes.